Like, I am in utter disbelief that this is the reality that we're in. We're in this reality of Donald Trump is stealing billions of dollars via executive order, and no one's even complaining. Donald Trump walks into office and he takes hundreds of billions of dollars. Everybody's just standing around like going, what? What's the big deal? This is a complete and utter sea change in America. And it's happening and no one even notices. This is unironically MAGA communism. When somebody says, I'm going to sound the alarm, that's a metaphor. A sentry will see an approaching army and then he sounds the alarm. The thing about sounding the alarm is that there's supposed to already be your own army. There's already supposed to be a plan. There's already supposed to be defenses drawn up. If you're sounding the alarm, that's supposed to mean, all right, everybody grab your sword, everybody grab your shield, go to the mustering field, close the gates, bring in the supplies. I'm sounding the alarm. It's time to fight. But all we have is just a network of alarm sounders. Oh, he's sounding the alarm, so I'm sounding the alarm. So he's sounding the alarm. She's sounding the alarm. They're sounding the alarm. It's a circle of alarm sounders. There's no walls, let alone men and women with swords and shields. What the fuck is the use of sounding an alarm? I don't say this because I'm a doomer. I say this because I am a realist and I have soberly analyzed reality. And I have come to the conclusion that we're fucked. And I think the thing that is making me believe that we are cooked, the idea, the thought that makes me believe we are cooked is Donald Trump is going to take 10% ownership in Intel, and there is absolutely no peep about it, not even from Wall Street. The government just nationalizes 10% of a major industry by fiat, and that's that? There's not even a fight. There's not even a Republican dissent. There's not even even Democrats are supposed to be against that. Now, I'm in favor of it. I think if a company gets government money, then the government should get an ownership stake and they should get dividends until the investment that we've made is paid back. I think that's common fucking sense. But to liberals and to right-wingers, that's supposed to be communism. That's supposed to be China. That's supposed to be Chinese state capitalism and service of communism with Chinese characteristics. So like on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, that's good. But on the other hand, I recognize it not as a sign that we're winning, but as a sign of, it's like when you jump out of a plane and you pull the parachute ripcord and wrenches fly out of the back of your backpack. There's not even a parachute in there. And I don't care how big your brain is. When you're going terminal velocity and you're surrounded by nothing but air and a rapidly approaching ground, there's nothing to do. There's no contraption to build. All you could do is pray that every single bone in your leg shatters, and that's enough to slow your body down so your brain doesn't turn into paste. Like, you are in deep, deep shit. Like, this is supposed to be the most extreme left-wing thing. He's nationalizing. He's partially nationalizing Intel. And this doesn't even get a... Can you imagine if Bernie Sanders tried to do the same thing? Do you understand the cacophony of panic? Wall Street would be... There would be a 5,000 point crash on the stock market if Bernie Sanders had done the exact same thing. But it's like it's not even happening. At the same time, Donald Trump is saying he's going to fire a Federal Reserve Bank governor, Lisa Cook. This is Erdogan shit. This is Banana Republic shit. And I don't give a shit if she's the first black woman Fed chair or whatever the fuck else. It doesn't matter. It is the Federal Reserve and the dollar were supposed to be operated without political interference. Now, we all understand that there's no such thing as an independent institution that doesn't operate without political interference. But this is a direct intervention in the Federal Reserve and the independence of the Federal Reserve because Trump wants interest rates to go down. This is Erdogan. This is what Erdogan did to Turkey. He said, I want interest rates to go down. It didn't matter what the larger macro conditions were in Turkey. He just said, make interest rates low. And that led to a collapsing interest in the Turkish lira and a crushing of all the savings people had who were in the middle class. It was a destructive force in Turkey. And the dollar is weakening. It is back to where it was in 2021, mid-pandemic. In the grand scheme of weakness, it is certainly weaker than it's been for a very long time. This is the Turkification of America. We're incredibly fucked. Because the stuff that you would think would cause Wall Street to flip out, they're not flipping out. Like this stuff, if Bernie Sanders did the exact same thing, they would be screaming that it was communism. Donald Trump does it, and Intel stock goes up. This is, ladies and gentlemen, I think the Rubicon has been passed. I think Donald Trump is successfully going to consolidate power. Unless we do something.
We give hundreds of billions of dollars to universities, and they keep the patents. Don't you think America should get a stake in the patents that we finance the research? We give the money. I mean, if it was commercial, we surely would get a piece of these patents.
Why about defense companies, though, for America? Secretary? Why shouldn't the U.S. government say, you know what, we use Palantir services, we would like a piece of Palantir. We use Boeing services. We would like a piece of Boeing. There are a lot of businesses that do business with the U.S. government that benefit by doing business with the U.S. government. I guess the question is, where's the line?
Oh, there's a monstrous discussion.
By the way, Chad, I just want you to understand that if Bernie Sanders was doing this, these guys would have communist flags in the background. They'd be screaming at the top of their lungs. They would be calling for the United Nations to like sanction the U.S. There would be a British prime minister saying that he's questioning the relationship of the UK with the United States. The European Union would like sanction the US if Bernie Sanders was doing this. Look what they're doing to Zoran Mamdani over 5 grocery stores. 5 state-owned grocery stores worth a few $1 million each. This is a multi-billion-dollar nationalization. What if can Zoran just take percentages of the grocery stores that are in New York without a peep? You're not really understanding that this is a sign that Donald Trump is very close to like a complete fascist takeover of our country. He's touching the money and they're not even complaining. Okay? I need you to understand how this means that he has won. He's molesting the money and they're not even saying anything. And if you understand capitalists, this is like putting a gun to their head. Like, I am in utter disbelief that this is the reality that we're in. We're in this reality of Donald Trump is stealing billions of dollars via executive order, and no one's even complaining.
About defense. I mean, Lockheed Martin makes 97% of their revenue from the U.S. government. By the
way, he's right. Lockheed Martin should be nationalized. He's right. We shouldn't have all these fucking massive military industrial complex profiteers. We should be investigating these fuckers. We should be ringing. I mean, this is honest to God. If the United States of America under Trump nationalizes Lockheed Martin, that is the first sign that they might actually have a chance of standing up to China, because it means that they're abandoning market fundamentalism in favor of pragmatism, in favor of and they're not completely delusional about reality and about the way capitalism works. And they know that when something's actually important, it can't be trusted to the market. I mean, like, this is how do I get people to understand how insane this is? How do I get you to understand how insane it is? I can't get it through to you. I don't know what to do. I mean, it's just like what Donald Trump is doing economically is something that I would want to have 50 million Americans organized and ready to go on general strike to achieve by a left winger. And he's just doing it. The difference is that Trump will not use it for redistribution. No, of course. You're right. Of course he won't, which is the exact point. Nothing matters except the class war. And they think Donald Trump is on their side. They understand that nationalism, the vanity of nations, it's all fake. Everything's fake, except there's a class of owners and a class of those that don't. And they think Trump is on the side of the ownership class, and you fucking peasants are going to be ground under his boot. They're going to build drones and AI bots to surveil you. And if you ever raise a peep in protest, and if you ever raise your eye from your slave labor, they'll fucking drone your ass. That's the world they're building. We are literally cattle. I mean, the conspiracy theories of 15 years ago are now fact. The wild-eyed Alex Jones rambling is now reality, and it's being implemented. And they're doing a test run in Gaza, and there is no reaction. You're all tranquilized. You're all inert. You're all and that's us. We're the most politically aware fucking group of Americans, possibly people in the fucking world, and we're inert. We're disabled, and it's not nobody's doing a good job anywhere. It's actually insane. The level of consolidation of power of Donald Trump. Things are moving faster than we thought possible. Fascism is here. Military is being deployed to the cities. Checkpoints are popping up. He's writing executive orders that just to directly contradict Supreme Court decisions. He's nationalizing American corporations at whim. He's dismantling the independence of the Federal Reserve Bank. He's gerrymandering in the middle of the decade Republican states to lock down control of the House of Representatives. The only place Democrats had a real chance of taking power so that they could block him legislatively. They're very unlikely to take the Senate. And so the only chance the Democrats had of getting a check and balance on Trump was the House of Representatives. And so Donald Trump is Machiavellian in his, I'm going to just redistrict every state I can to maximize the gerrymander. He has complete confidence that the Supreme Court won't stop him. He has complete confidence that the voters or people won't care. He has complete control over the capitalist class, the Supreme Court, the legislative body, the federal government. He's got $175 billion for a Gestapo. I don't think people are waking up. It's fucking over. Why nationalizing shares of companies is fascism? The reason why it's fascism is because Donald Trump is disrespecting the norms of liberal democracy. He's disrespecting private property rights. He is seizing power through intimidation. He's seizing wealth through intimidation. These countries are giving him hundreds of billions of dollars at his whim because they're worried that he'll use the federal government to oppress them. And so they're just complying. And he's not taking that money in order to like increase redistribution of wealth or to check the capitalist class. He's doing so to consolidate power around himself. And he's doing so by trampling on the thing that liberals are supposed and capitalists are supposed to care about the most. He's showing the supremacy of the Trump-led state over all factions of society. He is engaging in corporatism and a Mussolini-style political economy. There is not any resistance to anything Trump is doing. For a long time, liberal Democrats especially, they thought the capitalists would stand up to Trump. And the capitalists are signaling they will not. And the Democrats have destroyed every other center of possible power and resistance to Trumpism because of their service of the fucking AIPAC genocide. They have destroyed and targeted the left. Since Bernie Sanders popped up, they have focused all of their energy on suppressing the populist left and progressive left in this country and capitulating and appeasing the right. And so we have no forms of resistance that are constituted. And the fantasy of liberal centrist Democrats that the capitalists would keep Donald Trump in check has been fully discredited. We are in trouble, folks. We are in deep, 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 deep trouble.
I was texting with Rebecca Slaughter this morning, and I can tell you what she said to me over text this morning as the former FTC official fired by Trump. If the higher courts aren't going to check the president, he's going to keep pushing the envelope and removing the instruments of market stability to fulfill his short-term political goals. What Slaughter said to me this morning over text was, my big point is markets should be worried. Absolutely all checks on monetary policy independence are going out the window, guys.
I'm speechless. The stock market is flat. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. After the U.S. takes stake in Intel, Trump pledges many more deals. The president says he hoped to get as much as I can, signaling a shift in the relationship between government and private businesses. Like, if Bernie Sanders was doing this, they would call him Hugo Chavez. They would call him Stalin, taking ownership of companies. And he's not paying any money. They're just giving it away. They're diluting their shareholders and giving hundreds of billions of dollars in value to the government. This is like a wealth tax of 10% on anyone who owns an Intel stock. That's what Donald Trump just did. Donald Trump said, do you own Intel stock? I just did a 10% wealth tax. And no one complained. And he didn't even pass a law to do it. That's incredible. 3 days after the United States agreed to acquire a stake in chipmaker Intel, Joe Biden passed the CHIPS Act, gave these people hundreds of billions of dollars and got nothing for it. And Donald Trump walks in a room and they give them 10% of their value. I'm sorry, folks. This is a different world. The difference in political power between Donald Trump and Joe Biden is a chasm. It's the Pacific fucking Ocean. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain the level of power that he just fucking exercised, and no one is even saying anything. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because I'm the only person who understands that this is a complete destruction of norms that have been in place in this country since 1946. We don't do shit like this anymore. The government just doesn't grab percentages of companies in America, in the West. And Donald Trump has such complete political domination over this country that he's doing something that used to cause fucking riots, doing stuff that used to cause massive political upheaval, Supreme Court decisions, and Intel is capitulating. The president's strategy came into full review on Friday after the administration announced that it would take a 10% stake in Intel, a beleaguered technology giant once viewed as the beating heart of Silicon Valley. The acquisition of Intel's stock is the most notable intervention in private business since the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. No, this is more than that. It's more left-wing than that. He's taking public ownership. Do you not understand that this is nothing? It's nothing compared to a bailout where you just hand people money when you buy their toxic shit with printed dollars. This is far to the left of anything Obama did. They're taking it. They're not even buying it. And then just so you know, chat, they're doing it by consent. Intel is so intimidated, they did it without a fight. They gave away 10% of their company. They diluted the stock of everybody who owns Intel. This is a wealth tax. And they did it by consent. I mean, it's crazy. And I wish that a left-winger could do this. Like, this is something that I wanted a left-winger to do. This is what I wanted. When the CHIPS Act happened, I said, why aren't they owning part of Intel? They're giving them hundreds of... I said that years ago. Why aren't they taking part of Intel? They're giving them hundreds of billions. Why don't they get a percentage? Donald Trump walks into office and he takes hundreds of billions of dollars? Everybody's just standing around like going, what? What's the big deal? This is a complete and utter sea change in America. And it's happening and no one even notices. People know so little about economics. They know so little about politics that this kind of extreme outcome is happening in front of them and they just don't even notice. They don't even care. The stock went up. Give us a plan. Give us a mission. Plan? I can't even get people to say, the Democratic Party sucks. Plan. I can't even get people to look at the Democratic Party doing a genocide and go, maybe this party sucks. People whine about me making fun of a Democrat. Gavin Newsom, he's owning, I can't believe you leftists are attacking Gavin Newsom. He owned Trump on Twitter. What the fuck are you talking about? Plan. This is unironically MAGA communism.
Support this, support what we're doing. Please, hey, we'll take it because we got to get our message out. And the bottom line is that in our politics, that they're expecting close to a couple $2 billion in these elections coming out. And so that money is flowing everywhere. And until we address that issue and get campaign finance reforms, if you want representation that's going to represent your district, those people can't just go in there with empty pockets and just hopes and dreams. We got to understand there's a game being played. I'm going to get permit.
I swear to fucking God, I'm going to get permabanned. Because this is a corrupt politician saying, listen, the game is I take bribes. And until you pass a law that we already had called the Cade-Feingold Campaign Finance Reform Act that was overturned by the Supreme Court, you fucking dumb fuck. And when I said 10 years ago, hey, we should probably pack the Supreme Court because the radical right wing is overturning our laws so that corporations can buy the fucking government, you dumb liberals said, that's bad, that's against the norms. I mean, somebody argued with me like 3 weeks ago about packing the Supreme Court. I said, hey, if the Democrats want to do anything, they got to pack the Supreme Court. And what happened? They were like, well, then the Republicans will pack the Supreme Court. As if they're waiting on us to do anything. As if there's some norm out there protecting us. People are still saying this dumb shit. You people, like, legitimately, it doesn't matter what they do. They're arresting green card holders because they said Israel bad. And these dumb liberals are like, well, we got to do a referendum before we can gerrymander California. Abigail Spanberger's going like, I wouldn't gerrymander Virginia. She's up 50 points in the polls, and she won't promise to gerrymander Virginia. Like, these Democrats are controlled fucking opposition. And I'm spitting because I don't know, like, what the fuck is going on? I'm literally spitting. I just spat on my mic. I tried to warn people. I've been trying to warn people. I have been in this game for 13 years. And every single thing I said was going to happen happened. Every single thing I warned about happened. Every single norm was violated. And I told you they were going to violate the norms. It fucking happened. I told you Donald Trump was not going to prison. He didn't go to prison. I told you Merrick Garland was a fucking loser. He was a loser. I told you Joe Biden was going to get nothing done. He got nothing fucking done. And these liberals completely do not change. They never change. They never change. No matter what evidence is brought, no matter how many times they're discredited, the exact right-wing Democrat, centrist Democrat, corporate Democrat strategy was tried in the UK, and it has been an utter disaster. They can't do anything. And people want me to say Gavin fucking Newsom. They've been trying to build high-speed rail for 17 years from Los Angeles to San Francisco. 17 years. Next election, an infant that was carried into the ballot box by their mother to vote for the high-speed rail will be able to vote themselves, and they haven't connected Bakersfield. Billions of dollars wasted. Donald Trump seizing power in this country. Nobody gives a fuck. This is a more evil, self-centered, and incompetent country. Donald Trump is our perfect avatar. He is what we are. He is us. And I don't want you to give distance from yourself from Donald Trump. He is you. He represents you. He is America. A fat, obese, narcissistic dullard who doesn't know a fucking thing, but who thinks he's the most important chest-beating fuckhead in the planet. There is not one scrap of redemption to be found in how this country has been run for 50 fucking years. Democrats are not popular anywhere. They're not even popular in the places that they have complete control, because when you give the Democratic Party complete control, like they have in California, they don't do anything with it. They don't have success. Vote blue no matter who is California personified, and they can't even build a fucking single railroad. They can't build public transit that doesn't suck shit. They can't provide housing. I mean, what can you even say?